the finding that was investigated. For every finding of noncompliance, there is a corrective action or a set of corrective actions that are required and specific timelines that are required as well. In addition to that, the district must submit an improvement plan that outlines the corrective actions that the district will take to resolve the identified noncompliance.
When you determine that there's an on-site visit needed, how do you determine who goes on that visit?
To determine who goes on a visit, we look at the basis of the complaint, and we have a pool of qualified contractual personnel that lead these on-site investigations for us. So we look at the basis of the complaint, and we select qualified, experienced individuals from that pool with knowledge and expertise in the particular areas of the allegations of the complaint.
And who was chosen to serve as the monitoring team for JPS for this particular complaint?
It was a team of members from Fluency Plus.
And were there any other members of the team?
There, at the time of each of the visits, whether it was initial visit or follow-up visit, we've always had OSC staff that accompanies the contractual team leaders and team members.
And did you serve on that team?
I served on some of the follow-up teams, but not the initial visit.
And what is the role of Fluency Plus?
The role of Fluency Plus is varied, but their main role is to serve in a role of technical support. They are the named technical advisor appointed by the Mississippi Department of Education at MDE expense. They advise the MDE on areas of noncompliance. They advise and assist JPS on implementing corrective actions. They advise and assist MDE in evaluating improvement plans submitted by the district. And their role is to provide training and technical assistance to JPS staff, and basically to report and provide feedback to the Mississippi Department of Education Office of Special Education.
Did the Department of Education provide corrective actions to JPS to correct their deficiencies?
Yes, we did.
You will look back with me to Exhibit C18. Please look at page 2 of the report, which is actually page 4 of the exhibit.
Okay.
Will you please tell the Commission what the allegations in the September 8, 2010 complaint were?
Okay. There were a total of 10 allegations. 9 of those basically involved a denial of faith, which is a free and appropriate public education. There was a finding of the district failing to provide appropriate levels of related services. A faith denial by failing to comply with IDEA discipline regulations. A denial of faith by failing to appropriately and meaningfully update and revise petitioners' IEPs. A denial of faith by failing to conduct manifestation determination reviews in conformance with IDEA mandates. A denial of faith by failing to confer meaningful educational benefits. A denial of faith by failing to comply with requirements for developing and implementing IEPs. A denial of faith by failing to provide services within the petitioner's least restrictive environment. A denial of faith by failing to provide appropriate transition plans for students with disabilities. And a denial of faith by failing to appropriately identify and provide individualized extended school year services to eligible students. And then the 10th allegation had to do, or finding, had to do with a failure to provide students who transferred into the Jackson Public School District who had current IDEA eligibility with services, special education services that were comparable to the services and supports those students previously had in the district where they were attending before enrollment in the Jackson Public School District.
And when the team goes in for its investigation and its home site visit, it looks at the issues that are alleged in the complaint. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
And when the initial decision and findings came out, what were the findings in the November 22nd, 2010 report?
The Office of Special Education found that the district was non-compliant in each of these 10 areas as indicated in the findings for each of these 10 areas.
And after the department issued its findings and decision, did the district issue a response to that?
The district did issue a response. We received a improvement plan around December 21st of 2010.
And is that the document that introduces Exhibit C-19?
Yes, Exhibit C-19 is the improvement plan, the first improvement plan submitted by the Jackson Public School District.
And please explain to the Commission why a district would submit an improvement plan.
In accordance with 300.600, that is one of the enforcement mechanisms or one of the requirements that we as a state agency are responsible for ensuring general supervision. When there's identified non-compliance, districts are required to submit an improvement plan or corrective action plan that would outline the corrective actions they will take to resolve the identified non-compliance.
And did JPS submit any other improvement plans to the Department of Education?
Yes.
When were those submitted?
There was a plan submitted April 7th, 2011, and there was also a revised plan submitted September 9 of 2011.
Are the reports the same?
They are somewhat different.
Do you know why multiple plans were submitted?
Multiple plans were submitted as time went on, from the initial visit in order to provide updates as far as what has been done. And this is also a collaborative process between our office and a district in the development and the resolution of identified non-compliance. So as the district continued to work toward correcting the non-compliance, revised corrective action plans were done. And usually corrective action plans are submitted or updated following on-site visits, follow-up visits that we conduct.
And did the Office of Special Education conduct any further visits to JPS after the initial findings and decision and the receipt of the response from JPS?
Yes.
Do you know when those occurred?
I do. We conducted a follow-up visit on April 18 of 2011. We conducted a follow-up visit May 25th to the 27th of 2011, November 15, 16, 2011, and the most recent follow-up visit occurred on April 18, 19, and 20 of 2012.
And were you present for that April 18th, 2011 visit?
Yes, I was present on the first day.
And at that visit, was the department asked to leave?
I'm sorry, you're referring to the April 2011?
Yes.
I was not present at that particular time, but yes, the department was requested to leave on day one. The visit was scheduled for April 18th and 19th of 2011, and the team was asked to leave mid-afternoon on the first day, April 18.
Do you know why the team was asked to leave?
It was reported to me that there were some concerns.
If she wasn't there, I don't think she's the best witness to testify to this. This would be nothing but hearsay.
Are you going to withdraw the question?
I am. If you will, Ms. Bradley, please look at what's been introduced as Exhibit C21. Will you please tell the Commission what this document is?
Exhibit C21 is a letter from me to Dr. Lonnie J. Edwards dated May 24th, 2011, notifying the district that the Office of Special Education would be conducting a follow-up visit in the district on May 25th and 26th of 2011, and it identified the following files or types of information that we needed available for the team's review.
And was this letter sent because the team was not allowed to complete its April visit?
Yes, this was a visit to be able to conduct the follow-up visit that would have occurred in April.
And what kind of documents did the department team want to review at its visit?
We were asking for copies of IEPs, copies of discipline records, including attendance records, report cards, copies of functional behavioral assessments, current behavior intervention plans, data related to progress monitoring, and that was specific to academic behavior as well as related service goals, data related to educational benefit, and the examples given were interventions used and progress data, documentation of related services such as attendance logs, related service objectives, and any data related to fidelity checks.
And who sent this letter to the district?
I did.
If you will please look at what's been introduced as Exhibit C23. I apologize. C24. Nope. C23 was correct. I apologize. Will you explain to the Commission what this document is?
Exhibit C23 is an improvement plan that was submitted by Jackson Public School District to the Office of Special Education. It was revised September 9 of 2011. And it basically is the district's revised improvement plan as to how they are going to address and implement corrective actions to resolve identified noncompliance.
And did the department provide a response to the district based on this corrective action plan?
Yes, there was a response provided, I believe, dated September 26, 2011, from the Office of Special Education.
Is that the document that has been introduced as C22?
Yes.
And who is the cover letter, September 26, 2011, addressed to?
It is addressed to Dr. James Sargent.
And what does the letter explain to Dr. Sargent?
The letter basically addresses the fact that the department, the Mississippi Department of Education, at its own expense, appointed a technical advisor to assist the district with the implementation of corrective actions and compensatory services required by the department's decision. It further indicated that the technical advisor is required to report to the department on a regular basis regarding the progress of the district towards compliance with IDEA and with state board policies regarding students with disabilities. It indicated that the department's technical advisor contract is with Fluency Plus, and it indicated that Dr. Dale Bailey is one of its principals. It also addressed the fact that the department had reviewed the revised September 9, 2011 improvement plan submitted to the Office of Special Education by Dr. Tina Atkins, Executive Director, Exceptional Ed Services. And we notified the district that our review indicates that the district did include most of the corrective actions mandated by the department. Those actions being referred to those in the November 22nd, 2010 findings and decision. However, the revised improvement plan does not include specific provisions indicating the types of data the district will collect, report, and analyze, nor the process regarding how data will be collected and utilized to ensure the specific regulatory requirements are implemented and to support the district's correction of noncompliance. We also indicate that we must, under our general supervisory authority and responsibilities, we must verify correction of all areas of noncompliance by the date of November 22nd, 2011. We enclosed with this letter had a document that provided specific guidance regarding our analysis of the revised improvement plan, which also indicated the necessary required actions that the district must take in an effort to resolve each area of noncompliance.
And on page 2 of that letter, the first full paragraph, can you read the first 2 sentences?
For the past several months, the Fluency Plus team has met with resistance from JPS staff members when the team has been present in the district to conduct follow-up visits and assist with writing the improvement plan. This lack of cooperation from JPS staff members has put the district in a precarious situation for correcting the noncompliance within the 12-month time frame allowed by IDEA.
The September 26, 2011 response by the department includes specific guidance to JPS on how to timely correct the noncompliance?
Yes.
Did it also set up timelines for them to meet?
Yes.
Are they specific to each item of noncompliance?
Yes.
And as of the September 26, 2011, the proposed improvement plan, had JPS cleared any items of noncompliance?
No.
What were the overall problems with the improvement plan proposed by JPS in September 2011?
Basically, there was a lack of documentation or a lack of information indicating the types of data the district will collect, report, and analyze. There was also a lack of the process the district would use regarding how data will be collected and utilized to ensure the specific regulatory requirements were implemented and to be able to support the district's evidence of correction of noncompliance.
And based on the September 9th, 2011 proposed improvement plan, was there any improvement made?
Based upon the
September 9th proposed improvement plan submitted by JPS?
no.
Did the Office of Special Education conduct any further visits to JPS after sending out this September 26, 2011 response?
A visit was conducted on November 15th and 16th, 2011.
And you will look at what's been previously introduced as Exhibit C24. Will you please identify this document for the Commission?
Exhibit C24 is a letter from me to Dr. James Sargent dated October 25th, 2011, notifying the district that a follow-up visit has been scheduled for October 31st, November 1st, 2011. And it also indicates that the 12-month timeline for correction of all noncompliance is November 22nd, 2011, and that we must have a current verification of the status of each finding and corrective action related to the 9 petitioners with regard to the state administrative complaint.
And did the Office of Special Education go to JPS on October 31st through November 1st?
We did not.
And why not?
There was a request made through this office or this agency for technical assistance to be provided before we came to conduct this follow-up visit.
And was that technical assistance provided?
No, that technical assistance was not provided.
Why not?
When I called to determine the type of technical assistance being provided so we could know who or what technical assistance was being requested, I was told that technical assistance was no longer being requested.
What's the next step that the department did after that?
We reconvened to be able to come up with a rescheduled date to conduct the visit so that we could determine the status of compliance before the 12-month timeline of November 22nd, 2011.
And if you'll look at what's been previously introduced as Exhibit C25. Can you identify that for the Commission, please?
Sure. Exhibit C25 is a letter from me to Dr. James Sargent dated November 10, 2011, notifying the district that the Office of Special Education will be conducting a follow-up visit on Tuesday, November 15, 2011.
And did the Office of Special Education go on that visit on November 15th and 16th?
Yes, we were there November 15th and 16, 2011.
And did you attend the November 2011 follow-up visit?
Yes, I did.
And who else was at that visit?
Dr. Amarita Tell, Velma Haynes, Dr. Tawny McLean, who was our contractual team leader with Fluency Plus, and myself.
And after the team completed its investigation and prepared its report, was JPS in compliance after that follow-up visit?
No.
Were any of the items of non-compliance cleared on the follow-up visit?
No.
Were there any improvements?
There were improvements in the fact that quite a bit of training had been conducted and implemented in the district. There was also a significant amount of policies and procedures that had been developed. So improvement areas were that the district had developed policies and procedures and had provided an extensive amount of training to district personnel. The issue with that was most of the training and the policy and procedure development occurred in September, October, all the way up to right around November 3rd, just before our visit. So there was very little time for implementation as a result of those recent activities or recent improvements.
And did JPS provide a response to the department's November 15th to 16th follow-up report?
Yes, they did.
If you will identify the documents that have been marked as Exhibit C26.
C26 is the JPS response to our follow-up monitoring evaluation that was conducted in November of 2011. This is the first response received on Friday, 3/9/2012.
And Exhibit C27.
C27 is a response received on Monday, 3/12. It was a revised with minor edits from the 3/9 submission. And this particular submission included the various attachments or pieces of supporting documentation that did not accompany the 3/9 submission.
And C28.
C28 is a JPS response received. It's dated March 12, 2012. We actually received this on Wednesday, 4/4. It was received electronically. I'm sorry, I got the wrong day. It was received electronically. This particular, the difference between the previous two documents is that this one has an official cover letter on JPS letterhead. It has basically the same information that was submitted on 3/12 along with the attachments. It just is the document that has an official cover letter that indicates what was submitted previously to the department.
And after reviewing the responses from JPS, what did the Department of Education think the next step should be?
The next step was to conduct another follow-up visit to verify the implementation or look for evidence of the information that was submitted in the JPS document dated March 12, 2012.
And did you schedule a date and time with Fluency Plus and JPS for that follow-up visit?
Yes.
We'll look at the exhibits previously, C29.
Okay.
Which you did, are you referring to?
C29.
Can I interrupt for just a minute? I just want to try to find out so we can get a little bit of time. Do y'all have any thoughts, or can you give us an idea of how much longer you're going to be with this witness?
I'm close. I think I can probably wrap up within 10, 15.
Okay.
Cross-examination is fairly lengthy too.
That's what I was thinking. So I'm thinking that when we get through with this witness, we may take a short break for lunch, and I'm going to let Ms. Birchfield decide, like, talk to us about how long and that kind of thing. But I just want to get okay. Go ahead.
And what is the Exhibit C29?
Exhibit C29 is an email from Dale Bailey.
Let me object at this point. This document contains some confidential information regarding employees and statements that I think that are inappropriate for a public hearing. And if we're going to discuss this document, I think we need to go into the closed session.
Is this one of the exhibits that was agreed to?
It was an exhibit, but Kathy and I both specifically agreed that there were certain documents that were not, should not be discussed in public, and that in fact, there needs to be some redactions on here. We're going to discuss this issue because of what's contained in this document.
Okay.
And I think Kathy and I agreed that this is one of the documents that should not be discussed in public.
Well, we talked about not, that if this went further, that this would not, there would be redaction.
Correct, and I'm afraid when she testifies, we're going to get into some information here that's going to be confidential.
Well,
I'm not going to get into that. I just had...
Well, let me interrupt for just a second to make sure I understand something. This is already a public record. I mean, right now, this document has been admitted into evidence. Unless y'all tell me differently, we can make copies of this and distribute them all over Jackson. So if y'all are saying that this document has things in it that shouldn't be made public, they need to be redacted now, or should have been redacted before they were admitted into
There are
evidence.
specific things in here that should have been redacted before, because I do not understand that at this point in time that it was a public record, it will be a public record that will appeal, but
Every piece of paper on this table that's been admitted into evidence is now a
this
public
document,
record.
this document has some confidential information that needs to be redacted.
Can we we introduce it under seal?
Well, is there any way that the content of the document could it be redacted and still be beneficial to the department? I certainly don't want to infringe on the department's case.
Yes.
Are there just names that could be redacted? Would that satisfy it?
I think, well, the reference to the name and then a statement about some issues regarding that name need to be redacted. I don't think is germane to what she is saying. I think she can certainly testify